What's up, Lucas? Brennan, how you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right.
That was a sensational knockout knee victory. How you feeling after that knee? How did that feel?
Um, I feel good. I feel good that I won. I not to be like that guy, but that's something I've been doing a lot in training recently. To the deficit of some of my guys. But I've been doing that failed shot to knee quite a bit, and so I'm happy that it paid off, and I'm sure a couple of them are happy that it paid off. But I'm no, I'm happy that I was able to pull out the win. And in such a fashion.
He exhibited some great takedown defense. Were you surprised by how strong his defense was, grappling?
Yes and no. I was informed ahead of time, that he was going to be incredibly strong. And, I could tell looking at him that he was going to be very strong. And, he's training with a good wrestling coach. And clearly, we anticipated an anti-wrestling sort of style, but he was, after several attempts, he was still incredibly difficult to take down, and, I wasn't eating anything on the way in. Like I feel totally fine, like my head's fine. I remember everything, I was getting to the legs and struggling to finish, and that's just something I'll have to go back to the drawing board on. And no, I'm not particularly surprised. Just more so disappointed in myself.
I know the objective is always to get in, get out, get paid, quick wins, but you overcame probably more adversity in that fight than any other previous. Does that tell you something? Does that feel good that you kind of proved to yourself or maybe others that you can go the distance or?
Yeah, I think it says something for me to myself, but to others as well, and it's I think considering that was a possibility then, I think it's something that could have been a possibility earlier as well had that been the game plan going in, who knows, but like it's no, I'm happy that I was able to pull it out that way. It's definitely, the most adversity I've seen in a fight thus far, even some tougher early amateur fights and things like that. It's definitely one of the toughest fights I've had, and an incredibly difficult opponent, to stylistically match myself up with. And it was fun, and there's going to be a lot of notes to be taken. We'll be back to the drawing board on Sunday and get going.
How much credit does Austin Ford receive for this win, for giving you new looks and new perspective striking in this training camp?
Both my striking coaches get a lot of love on this. Austin Ford, Rafael Casillas, both these guys are fantastic striking coaches, and you know, I'm sure they have their notes and things that we will discuss later. But a lot of love to them as far as all that goes, and a lot of love to my dad and my guys back home. For trying to push the wrestling and not doing it to the degree that I should have been. The pace definitely should have been higher. I could have pushed a higher pace. I'm not tired. I just percentages weren't looking great, and back to the drawing board.
So much white and purple in the crowd. I feel like one whole side of the first section is all white and purple. I know everybody has a family, every fighter has a team, but it seems like you guys are so close. You have such a close knit family team, teammates. How much have they helped you? What can you tell me about them, the close knit group you have around you, and the support system you have?
It's great. I try not to think about it. When I'm here, when I'm warming up, when I'm fighting, anything like that. I'm aware that they are present. I'm aware of, I appreciate how supportive they all are. My team, my teammates, my family, everybody like that. Everybody in that circle is incredibly supportive. But, it's also like there's a ton of them there. They're not my focus. Afterwards, I'll go and say hi to everybody. I'm going to take more pictures right now than I'm ever going to want to ever again. It's just kind of how it is. But like, I am incredibly supportive and or appreciative of their support. And I don't know, it's awesome. It's awesome. And I have no complaints in that department.
Scott Coker did an interview yesterday where he said that Bellator, it's not the end of the line. As contrary to some reports, there's going to be a 301, there's going to be a 302. We're making it to the end of the year. What's next for you? What card are you looking to get on if it were up to you?
I'm not positive on what dates are released on those cards. But you will be seeing me by the end of the year. I'm gonna go eat a large pizza, eat a little bit of ice cream, and I'll be back. And yeah, you'll be seeing me before 2024. Yes, sir.
Hey, Lucas, Patrick Dino with Combat Sports UK. So, do you have beef with Patchy Mix? Because I think you may have just stole his knockout of the year contender.
Do I have beef with who?
Patchy Mix.
Oh shit. Man, that's kind of the same, isn't it? Nah, me and him are cool. Me and him are cool. No, no. Oh shit.
So, what was going through your head in there in the moments leading up to that finish?
You know, um, I was trying to stick to the game plan. I was anything that wasn't working, trying to land off of that, still trying to land on the feet and looking to enforce my style and my game plan. And, I was never deterred from that. Going into the end, I think I could have pushed it harder is kind of the thing, harder than I know I could have, because I did feel like I was, I think I was waiting a little too long. I wasn't finding my openings. I wasn't forcing my openings, right? There was definitely things that I could have done that I didn't. And, I remember everything. I'll go back and watch it. And, I'm happy things played out the way they played out. Something I've done a little bit in training just now, has been going on recently. And so I'm happy that worked just now. And, yeah.
So your dad, Chris, was in the corner going crazy after round 2. What did he say to you, and how did he motivate you to get that finish?
They're honest with me. They're not sugarcoating me with what I did right or whatever in the rounds. They were pretty straight up. Like, hey, you're down. Like, this is you need to push the pace on the wrestling. You need to push the pace on the takedowns, even if you're not scoring these takedowns, right? Getting the control time, and no, they're straight up with me. And gave me technical advice, but there was also a little bit more of, hey, like, you need to fucking get going, get a takedown, get something, and I don't believe that in particular was what they were looking for. But I used the wrong formula, but I got the right answer. So we're cool,
What's up, Lucas? Congrats on a big win tonight. Usually your highlight reels are some crazy submissions. This time it was a huge knockout. It's already going crazy on sites like ESPN MMA. How does it feel to finally put one away with a huge knockout?
It's cool. It's cool. If I'm being straight up, I'm the jiu-jitsu guy. I've never knocked anybody out. So it's kind of cool. It was awesome. And, thinking back, I probably didn't need to add, the super necessary hammer fists at the end. He was probably out. But also, I was not, as far as scorecards looking, it wasn't going great. So I wasn't going to let him possibly live through that experience. So, it felt pretty cool, not gonna lie.
And last one from me. This was the first fight where you were able to show some of your striking. How comfortable were you in there? And ultimately, how does that performance add up to others?
Performance wise, I'm not super stoked. I think I could have done a lot better in most departments. And I think that had I just pushed the pace a little bit more myself, I think he plays a great long distance kickboxing game, right? He's in, he's out, he's in, he's out, right? And so it makes my style incredibly difficult, right? And so, I think I had a little more commitment on what I was doing, would have paid off in a big way. I wasn't getting clipped on anything on my shots, not a punch hurt, not a single punch hurt, like my head feels totally fine. Even like my leg hurts right now, but it wasn't slowing me down, like I just, it is what it is. I think, I'm a little disappointed in my performance, but it, I can't complain too much sitting where I am now. So.
Congrats on a big win. Can't wait to see the future for you, Lucas.
Thank you.
Jay?
Lucas, congrats on the win tonight. That was a fantastic performance. Yeah, I'm a disembodied voice. Don't worry. We spoke before, and you said that you weren't really feeling like you were ready to be ranked coming off of this with that performance. I mean, do you still feel that way? Because it feels like the fights are going to get bigger and bigger.
No, the fights are always getting bigger and bigger. So that's not, something I'm particularly worried about. Ranking wise, I'm curious to see what they end up looking like after this weekend with everything, just because, they kind of moved me ahead of time with AJ slipping out and then slipping in 210 guys. So I think it's a little all over the place with that shakeup. So, I'm indifferent, but I'm curious to see what things look like after the weekend.
Pizza and ice cream to celebrate. Just a quick one.
Damn
Pineapple
right.
on pizza. Yay or nay?
Nay, get off the stream. That was the most terrible thing I've ever heard in my life.
All right, that settles it. Thanks a lot, man.
I'm sorry, dog.
Ken?
Kay Williams for Ken Chronicles Media. Lucas, congratulations on the win tonight. Did the round one counter knockdown, did it kind of throw you off your game plan one bit?
No. I immediately was able to register. I was mid body / head kick. I was off balance. Great straight. He was catching me on my kicks. So, it it was hard. But I think had both feet been planted, I would have been fine. So, I just think, it was fantastic timing, but it didn't throw me off of my game plan necessarily.
Hey, Lucas, congrats again on the win. I know when we talked, right now you said not the greatest performance, happy with the result, but you told me you just love being a fighter. Is there something very positive you could take away, even out of, and I know you gave respect to your opponent, but there's something real positive you could take, not just tonight, but moving forward in your career from tonight?
As unfortunate as it is to try and figure out that you're capable of doing it, it's always good to know that, you can kind of get your leg eaten up a little bit for a couple rounds and still come out and keep moving and keep the game plan rolling. And, it's something I haven't really had to put to use in a long time, and a lot of heart, putting into it. And it's something I haven't had to do since I was younger. So, I'm happy that, I was able to display that sort of thing. I don't know if happy is the right word, but, happy to know that it's there. And, I think it's unfortunate that you kind of have to get your ass kicked a little bit to find it. But, I have mixed emotions. I'm stoked that things ended in such a spectacular way for me. But, I'm not particularly excited about, the previous encounters. So
can you describe that moment? Obviously, you can't tell me exactly how you were feeling as you were throwing that finish, but can you take me through your right before, the beginning of round 3, your corner, your father, and then that moment immediately after? Can you describe that?
There's a sense of nervousness and a sense of, anxiety, right? And knowing that, they're honest with me, and I knew going in that I was down, on the rounds, and them, being straight up with me about that and trying to enforce, like, you need to get going, you need to get the game plan, like, you need to get to what you're doing. And, but even then, I think I was a little too tentative, and I was a little too hesitant on certain things that I shouldn't have been. And, I knew I needed a finish. I did not particularly expect that to be it. But again, I'm not complaining. It's something I've been playing around with, so I'm happy that it checks out. But yeah.
Thank you.